Emmerdale spoilers: devastating brain damage story for Eric Pollard. David Metcalf Matthew Wolfenden has been warned to prepare himself for the worst when it comes to the fate of Eric Pollard. Chris Chittel, as the risk of brain damage becomes a very real possibility following the car crash that almost killed him in. As Megan Macy Gaynor Faye fights with her conscience over causing the crash and contemplates handing herself into the police, things continue to look bleak for Eric. Newcomer Jamie Tate Alexander Lincoln is being blamed for the accident, and he has really wanted to make a good impression in the village and show that he is nothing like his wicked mum Kim Claire King. But when he visited the hospital to apologize and assure David that it was all an accident, he ended up being punched across the face in front of a guilty Megan. As Faith Dingle Sally Dexter tried to calm the situation, Amy Wyatt Natalie Ann Jameson tried to force everyone to face the reality that Eric is in a really bad way. And more bad news came when the doctor told David that they were going to bring Eric out of his coma, but there is every chance that there could be permanent brain damage. As David was told to hope for the best but be prepared for the worst, his eyes were filled with tears as he was faced with the prospect that his dad's life may have changed forever in an instant. Meanwhile, Megan had talked herself out of going to the police and admitting she was texting behind the wheel when the crash happened. But if Eric's illness is as serious as David fears, will she change her mind? Viewers will have to wait and see whether Eric comes out of his coma okay, or whether he will be forced to live with lifelong ramifications from the crash. Jamie makes a huge decision after Eric tragedy in Emmerdale. Who plays Eric Pollard in Emmerdale? How long is Jamie Tate staying on Emmerdale? Dawn betrays furious Will after surprise news from Harriet in Emmerdale. Ads keep our content free for everyone. Please note that the Interactive Advertising Bureau IAB describes online personalized advertising through the below definitions. We put contractual, the storage of information, or access to information that is already stored, on your device, such as accessing advertising identifiers and / or other device identifiers, and / or using cookies or similar technologies. The collection and processing of information about your use of this site to subsequently personalize advertising for you in other contexts, i.e. on other sites or apps, over time. Typically, the collection of information, in combination with previously collected information, to select and deliver advertisements for you, and to measure the delivery and effectiveness of such advertisements. This includes using the collection of information, in combination with previously collected information, to select and deliver content for you, and to measure the delivery and effectiveness of such content. This includes using the collection of information about your use of the content, in combination with previously collected information, used to measure, understand, and report on your usage of the content. Ads keep our content free for everyone. We carefully use additional third-party advertising companies who serve ads to help keep content free. For these partners, you will continue to receive advertising, however, it may not be tailored to your likely interests. Well, check in with you. Great. Thanks for choosing. You have opted out from our advertising partners.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.